Well, another robodebt tragedy could be unfolding right in front of our eyes. That's the warning from experts, as almost half of people relying on income support have their payments cut off. They're given no notice and no reason. Many now forced to go without food and medication.
Hello?
Every time the phone rings, Jodie Harris gets anxious.
You need to put my payments back on or I cannot live.
The 54-year-old single mum says she's made that desperate plea time and time again.
Please, please stop harassing me. Just in this last month, I've had 8 texts saying your payment's on hold. And I think it's just disgusting. It's like, it's hard enough to get by on JobSeeker. They're just relentless. They're relentless.
Jodie's been on JobSeeker since injuring her back after falling at work in 2016. Up until COVID, she says she had a medical exemption from Centrelink, excusing her from having to look for employment. But since March this year, Jodie says she's had her social security payments suspended twice for not turning up to job interviews organised by a private recruitment company.
And he kept putting me up for cleaning jobs, carer jobs, and I was like, I'm on the verge of needing a carer myself. You can't expect me to do that. And then if I wouldn't go to the interview or I'd say no, then he'd put my payment on hold again.
How did you feel?
You know, I'm not a crier, but I'm sat here just in tears, just absolutely just banging my head, going, how do you deal with these people?
If they cut you off, what do you have to go without?
Everything. You can't eat, you can't you can't do anything. You're just stuck at home, and then until you're relying on them to fix it for you.
Every time you get one of these threatening letters, I mean, how would it make you feel?
It just makes you feel sick, it makes you worry because you don't know, your life's in their hands, basically.
It's a disgrace, it's a national disgrace.
During COVID, 25-year-old Brock was on JobSeeker. He switched to AusStudy 6 months ago when he started university to become a pharmacist.
So as a full-time student on AusStudy, I'm not required to look for any work for the duration of my degree.
While his Centrelink payment hasn't been suspended, Brock says recruitment companies are still pursuing him.
I've received 12 letters and I've received 1 phone call and 1 text message in the last 3.5 weeks. It's my understanding that the majority of job agencies get paid upwards of $200 per phone call or per appointment.
I think we have another robodebt tragedy unfolding on our watch.
CEO of the Australian Council of Social Service, Cassandra Goldie, says the government was warned against the automated JobSeeker payment suspensions, which started in July last year.
It's about 35,000 people every week that are being affected by this. It's almost 50% of people who are relying on income support, particularly JobSeeker, and it's very, very serious.
Between April and June this year, almost 240,000 people on JobSeeker had their government income suspended at least once. 52% of withheld payments were the result of providers reporting they had not attended appointments.
It's actually making people really unwell, and yet we've got a system where private companies are being paid for unleashing this on people.
Cassandra says the private sector should not have control of public money and, as a result, control of people's well-being.
And to have this extraordinary power in the hands of private companies who are using the suspension of a payment as the first resort, really cruel and causing serious harm to people.
The findings of a parliamentary inquiry into the nation's $7 billion employment services system is expected to be handed down by the end of the month.
Well, I personally think that there should be a royal commission into all of the job agencies in this country. You know, they're running a racket and nobody sees it. because everybody just assumes they're doing the right thing, and that couldn't be further from the truth.
The department insists people cannot be required to apply for jobs they're unable to do. Clearly, some are falling through the cracks.